BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Robert Paris, Tad Stefanak, and Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. Please excuse my appearance today. I had a misadventure with a hose at the gas station this morning, and the hose proved victorious versus my head. If the heat this week has been a little too much for you, don't worry. Burlington has something for you to look forward to. The popular beer garden events are returning this September. The Select Board this week approved 4 one-day liquor licenses for the event for Thursday, September 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. Select Board member Mike Espeo said the event has quickly become a local favorite.
This has quickly become one of the most popular events that we do as a town. I always get people asking, when are we doing the beer gardens again? When are they happening? It's a great activity for the town, and I'm just a big fan of placemaking and all the cool things that we've done so far, so full support of that.
Everyone is welcome to stop by the events. They're from 4:30 to 8:30 next to True North Coffee every Thursday in September. The Select Board this week also expanded a program that helps seniors afford their tax bills. Under the new rules, seniors can work off up to $2,000 of their property taxes, up from $1,500 under the previous rules. That means working up to 133 hours over the course of a year. Seniors can find placements as greeters at the senior center, mailing ballots with the clerk's office, or helping file paperwork in the police department. The program is currently only available for individuals making less than $44,000 a year or couples making less than $55,000. The town expressed some interest in raising that threshold so more people would have access to the program. Burlington has 3 new police officers on staff. The police department this week swore in Timothy Pinkham, Ryan Shea, and Peter Eldridge as new officers. More appointments are expected in the coming weeks due to a large number of vacancies. Congratulations to Officers Pinkham, Eldridge, and Shea. Frequent observers of Burlington Select Board meetings may have noticed a number of public hearings recently on double poles and safety poles for local utility companies. In a recent interview with BNEWS, Town Administrator Paul Sagarino says the town is hoping to cut down on those in the future.
We just really want to be, conscientious of the built environment as we go along, and if there's a better way that they could fix a pole situation by spending a few more bucks, and it's going to really, appeal better to the community visually, then that's the type of thing that the board's been questioning the utility companies on. We're fortunate to have everything in town, and all areas of the town have all these services up on the wires, but like I say, if sometimes when they start leaning or there's a double pole or there's wires coming down from the pole, it's just not very appealing to the eye, and nobody wants that in front of their house. So I think what we're trying to do is just say, hey, can you do it better? We understand you need to do it, but is there a way to do it better by spending a few more bucks or putting in a bigger pole that doesn't necessarily need the metallic wires going down into the ground? So that's been the board's take on it the past several hearings.
And following the departure of former Marshall Simons principal Dr. Carrie Purchase at the end of the last school year, there's a new person in charge of the middle school. Tim McMahon is a Burlington resident and former high school principal. He says his first order of business is getting familiar with how things are already going.
My initiative to start the year off is get to know the school community. Mm-hmm. I think it would be hasty to come out of the gate with anything more aggressive than that. I think I'm going to a situation where you have a school full of passionate teachers, parents who are invested in the school, and that has a recipe for success as it is. Like I said earlier, I think my biggest task as a new principal in this situation, and if I'm going to make any initiative work, is building trust in establishing agency, And, anytime someone new comes into a building, having been in the classroom and as assistant principal, I've gone through leadership changes before. And it can be daunting when someone comes in with a massive list of agenda items they want to try to change or create. For me, it's about making sure that we offer an education to middle school students that keeps them safe at school every day, makes them feel validated, and we're doing our best to get them ready for the real world.
The cycle of giving is ongoing for the local Cummings Foundation. We paid them a visit recently to go inside their operations. Here's Robert Paris.
One of the biggest names in local philanthropy is the Cummings Foundation, located at West Cummings Park in Woburn. Just recently, the foundation awarded $500 million to local nonprofits, including Burlington's People Helping People.
We gathered with them just a few weeks ago at Trade Center 128, right on the Burlington-Woburn line, had a big celebration. Governor Maura Healey joined us, which was fantastic to really make all the nonprofits feel appreciated and recognized for the important work that they do.
BNEWS anchor Phil Gallagher sat with owner and founder Bill Cummings in a recent episode of Topics. Cummings said he lets local volunteers make the major decisions.
There are 175 volunteers who make by most I mean probably close to 60% of all the decisions about new grant holders, grant recipients.
Well, that's the interesting thing. I mean, how do you feel about, all of these assets have gone and you're not in the decision-making process as to where the money goes?
Well, I couldn't be. I couldn't begin to be. We could hire people to do it, other people, but if by letting these volunteers come in, and you're welcome to be a volunteer, would love to have you. You'd be an ideal volunteer. We've had a dozen college presidents as volunteers, and several mayors, 4 or 5 anyway.
For the Cummings Foundation, the cycle of giving never stops.
July 1st, every year, we launch a new grant cycle. So we have just begun accepting letters of inquiry for the Cummings $30 million grant program. And we encourage local organizations to check out the program, look at the eligibility requirements, and if it seems like they're a good fit, to send us a letter of inquiry.
Okay, where would they find that?
CummingsFoundation.org. We have a tab for local grants program. There is a lot of information on our website, including an FAQs page. It has information about a couple of upcoming Zoom sessions we'll be having that are Q&A sessions with myself and our Deputy Director, Andrew Bishop, to answer any questions people might have.
From West Cummings Park in Woburn, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Weekly.
Okay, that grant cycle opened, as Joyce mentioned, July 1st. And if you're part of a nonprofit with an idea for a new program, you want to check there because this is a very generous program. Wine Spectator is the major publication for wine connoisseurs, and no less than 7 Burlington restaurants recently made their list of the world's top restaurants for wine. The list included more than 3,000 restaurants from all 50 states and 75 countries. Being selected for the Restaurant Award is a recognition of the restaurant's wine lists, selections, and pairings with the menu's cuisine. Burlington's 7 winners were the Capitol Grill, Café Escadrille, Black and Blue Steak and Crab, Fogo de Chao, Eddie V's Prime Seafood, and Smith & Walensky's. Congratulations to those winners. In their efforts to bring community and activity to the Burlington Mall, Simons and the Burlington Rec Department are tag teaming on a very calming event, Sunset Yoga. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak takes us there.
The Burlington Parks and Recreation Department, in cooperation with the Burlington Mall, is offering Sunset Yoga on the Burlington Mall Green.
Today we have Sunset Yoga. It's been beautiful. We've been into it for about 4 weeks, and the weather has been absolutely amazing. And one day was a little hot last week, but we all survived with a lot of water. And it's just a beautiful time. We have beautiful space. We get to enjoy the sunset coming down around 7, and we meditate during it. Everyone seems like they're really enjoying this whole scenery. The benefits are it's outdoors, number one. We spend a lot of our time, 9 months a year inside, so it's been beautiful to be able to enjoy the lightness, enjoy the scenery, and just the space. The space has been great. They can sign up through the rec center. We have plenty of openings. I usually fill it with about 12 to 15. And you can sign up through the rec center under Sunset Yoga. I have 2 sessions, one that starts May through July 16th, and the other one starts right up and ends mid-September. So we do 2 sessions now, 2 7 to 8 week sessions. Come join us. It's so much fun, and then you can go in the mall and either go shopping and get cool or go grab something to eat and just really enjoy yourself, enjoying all the amenities that Burlington offers.
From the Burlington Mall, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak. Namaste.
Great things about this establishment, BCAT, is that anyone, yes, anyone can start their own TV show or podcast, and a lot of people take us up on that, including yours truly. We have many volunteers in many various aspects of TV production. Two of our newest podcasters are also youngest podcasters, frequent BNEWS volunteers Evan McNamee and Carter Ames. Chris Flaherty spoke to them about their endeavor.
What if President Kennedy survived his assassination attempt in 1963? What if the Soviet Union didn't collapse in 1991? These are just two historical what-ifs explored in a new podcast from the BCAT studio, produced by Burlington students Carter Ames and Evan McNamee.
We're just big history buffs. Yeah. We come from families who did a lot of stuff, like historically.
It's like part of it is our backgrounds, part of it is just we're naturally in history. Both of us have experience in the middle school's history club. So really just suited us who we were as people. The way we plan for our episodes is we come up with 5 or 6 segment ideas and put like a time frame of how long we want each segment to be. Then we just fill in with notes of topics we want to discuss and as much as we can.
Ames and McNamee shared some historical what-ifs they're looking forward to exploring in future episodes.
If Robert F. Kennedy or Lyndon B. Johnson faced Nixon in 1968, how would have that handled stuff, and how would would the Democrats be able to get back to retain the White House?
For me, it's the one that I have a really close personal connection to. What if Confederacy won the Civil War? I have a great-great-great-grandfather who is a Civil War veteran for the Vermont 23rd Regiment.
Both gentlemen hope to inspire and educate their listeners with each episode.
Everything has a what if to it. Like, a lot of people wonder if something serious happened differently, like would that be good or would that be bad? And the podcast is just to discuss what we think would probably happen.
You can always, come to your own conclusions. Our conclusion necessarily isn't the right one, but I just hope that, people learn some stuff.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Athletes from around the area came down to Rehanis Park recently to compete in the Open, which was celebrating its 20th year. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris has more.
The hot and humid day didn't stop participants from competing in the 20th Rehanis Park Open during the weekend of July 13th.
So I'm glad it's back this year. I haven't been around for all 20. I think I've been around for about 12 or 13 as a player, now directing it. It's a great event for the town of Burlington Public Schools, the Burlington tennis teams, Burlington Rec. It's just a great way to build a sport in town, and tennis is a great sport, and Burlington does a great job promoting it.
Competitors from all ages got to compete in a variety of different levels.
There's some people playing singles and doubles, so we got about 35 participants this year, which is an average number, but it's a very high number. We've got kids in the high school team, former Burlington High alumni who are 20s, 30s, 40s, any ages. So it's great to see people who never played each other because it's always a good challenge.
Scott mentioned how the event got started 20 years ago.
Former head coach for me, Rob Newton, and the coach for me, Mike Phelan. They started the, I think it was like a Rehanis Park committee, which this is before the Rehanis Park got redone to the beautiful courts it is now. So if it wasn't for those guys' work, this wouldn't be possible. So they really started it, and it kind of built up every year, and I'm happy to continue it for them.
Aditya Pathak and Joe Bertolami played in first singles. I got a chance to speak with both of them after their match.
I've actually played Joe before last Rehanis Open, so yeah, it was a really good battle. Last time it was 3 sets, this time we got it done in 2, but really good match. Beat me in 2 sets, a lot of good battles, real close, and yeah, just a great time being out here, playing some tennis.
The event is a way for tennis goers to connect with other players from the Burlington community.
Everyone shows great sportsmanship out there, so it's just great to see lifelong friendships kind of reunite every summer down here.
From Rehanis Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
Who's concerned about the risk of falling has an option from the Board of Health. The board is offering Master of Balance classes for 2 hours a week for 8 weeks beginning this September. The program includes guest speakers, handouts, and other resources to help make the home safer for those at risk of falls. Classes begin Tuesday, September 3rd at Grandview Farm. Considering today's events, I might want to consider signing up for that. For more information, call the Board of Health at 781-270-1955 or email boh@burlington.org. No end in sight for this hot and muggy weather, says weatherman Peter Brown, and stay tuned for our community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Overture Weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards what we call the dog days of summer, which usually last from around July 3rd through August 11th, and it is definitely going to feel like summer out there. We are really in the thick of it as we head in towards the middle of July. We were waiting for that really warm air to come into the Burlington area into New England. It has certainly made its mark over the past 7 to 10 days, and it looks like it's going to be with us for the foreseeable future. Now, starting our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year in the mid to upper 80s. That's about where we're going to be. It's going to be very sultry out there, very sticky as we see some of those remains of Hurricane Beryl moving far to our northwest. That means most of the rain's going to stay out of our area, but unfortunately it is going to be incredibly humid out there. Now, as we get in towards the end of our period next week into next Thursday again, average highs at this time of the year should be in the mid to upper 80s, and this is actually the peak of our temperatures for the year. I know it's hard to believe that we're already to that. This is when the warmest temperatures of the year occur. Generally speaking, from here on out, the temperatures start to get a little bit cooler as we head towards the second half of summer, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. Our highs are going to be staying right around average, if not a little bit higher than that. Of course, as we start to move further into July, our length of day keeps getting shorter. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation for the next 7 to 10 days. Now, this is something that we saw a lot of over the winter and the early spring. A very high possibility of us having above average temperatures. I'm seeing that as well for the next 7 to 10 days, and actually looking out for the next 4 to 6 weeks, it looks like it's going to be pretty warm out there. Now, looking at our precipitation chances, they're calling us for have a slight chance of above average precipitation. That's going to be noted as we have probably a chance of showers and thunderstorms almost every day, very similar to like what you see in Florida with how humid it's going to be out there. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at the 7 days of weather coming up is going to look like. And again, starting out our period and really going all the way through from Friday right through to next Thursday, we're going to keep those chance of showers in there with some thunderstorms each afternoon. Temperatures aren't going to vary too much starting out your weekend on Friday. Temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90. That continues for the entire weekend. As we get into Monday, sun is going to come out more and the temperatures are going to start to climb up into the mid 90s probably. Now, Tuesday it might cool off a little bit, back off a bit as we see a little bit more in the way of maybe some steadier rain coming through, nothing too much. And then Wednesday, that sun is going to come back out. Temperatures are going to go back up into the low to mid 90s again, and then cooling off a little bit on Thursday again as we see some more showers moving into the Burlington area. However, thereafter, looking at the forecast models for going ahead for the next few weeks, it looks like we're going to have some really warm weather moving in here as we head in towards the second half of July. So it doesn't look like any of that cool, crisp air from Canada is going to be making an appearance here in New England anytime soon. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
This is Pepper, and you are watching BCat.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On July 24th from 1 to 3 p.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having a Fab Flamingo paint party. For more information on the event, go to their website. On July 25th from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a performance called The Wacky Science Show for children in grades pre-K through 5th grade. Pre-registration is required for the event. For more information and to register, go to the library website. On July 26th at 7 p.m. and July 27th at 2 p.m., the Burlington Educational Summer Theater will be performing Matilda Jr. at the Fogelberg Performing Arts Center. For more information and tickets, go to the following website. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
Community. Christina Nikita sent in this image. She calls this Periwinkle Pride, taken in Western a few weeks back. Thank you, Christina. If you have a photo you'd like to see featured here, mail it to us, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's it for our program. Thanks for tuning in. One last plug for you. State Representative Ken Gordon is holding office hours this Saturday, June 20th at True North Coffee. Catch him between 9 and 10 a.m. I'm Phil Gallagher, and we'll see you again here next week. Thank you.